right, this is the JBJ Management Podcast. I'm Willis Johnson, and you are?
And I'm Samantha Gordon.
And I'm Camron Powell. And we've got some things to talk about today because the world just doesn't stop. Unfortunately, a bridge collapsed this morning at about, 6 a.m. or something like that?
No, it was like 1.
It was like 1?
It's like 1:30.
Super early in the morning. There was a cargo ship navigating through a tight passage under a bridge in Baltimore, and they had some mechanical, electrical issues, and they could not steer correctly and hit a pylon, causing the bridge to collapse and fall into the water. And there have been some casualties, and they're still searching for more people and getting the process started about recovering. You guys ever been really afraid of bridges or anything like that?
Not until today.
The Mississippi River Bridge in New Orleans.
That long one?
Man, let me just tell you.
Is that, what lake is
now, I'm not talking about when you went over it. I'm the first time I went over it. When the bus was going.
Oh.
Oh my gosh.
That don't sound fun.
No, but you've seen down. Hell, but I also think when I saw that the Key Bridge, was it Francis Scott Key?
The 7 Mile Bridge, or what they call it? The one in Florida Keys?
In Baltimore, no.
Oh,
this
that
is the
one, that one.
Yeah.
Right. Makes me think about the infrastructure bill. That's why the infrastructure bill was passed, because our bridges. There was a bridge in Minnesota.
That's what I thought you were talking about when you said Mississippi River. I
No.
remember that. I was a kid. Right
That
downtown
bridge
Minneapolis. 35W.
Our bridges are old. Have you gone over some of the bridges in Dallas? Like,
The roads alone.
so our infrastructure is breaking down. But I think this ship had been disabled.
There was something. They were having issues.
Yeah. They were able to call a mayday before they hit.
Oh, wow.
So they knew. But yeah.
They tried to go full reverse thrust. I don't know if you ever manned a boat. It's not too responsive. And at 1,000 feet long and however many 1,000 tons they had, you're not really stopping that on water.
I just think about the Golden Gate Bridge in San Francisco,
I was going to bring that up too.
which until I married Sophia, I didn't really know how many bridges there are in the Bay Area.
Mm-hmm.
You hear about the Golden Gate Bridge.
Which was built in the 30s, by the way.
And somebody check it, but there were several people who died building the
Oh, yeah.
bridge. I mean, you have to think about it.
It's 200 feet off the water.
But there are like 6 bridges that go over the bay between Oakland and San Francisco. I never knew that. I just always thought it was the Golden Gate Bridge. And then we were working on a deal too. There was a company in Oakland. He said, "Well, no, we're going to take the Bay Bridge.
Bay
well,
Bridge is
we might
so
take
long.
the Willie. What's the mayor of? Used to be the mayor of Arlington. We took that bridge, and then we took another bridge. It just depends on which bridge is open. And I'm always a little concerned about bridges and the structure. Who put the concrete in?
Right. I was always afraid. As a kid, I was always like, I never understood, because growing up in Minneapolis, we have a lot of bridges going over the Mississippi, down the whole Mississippi throughout the city between Minneapolis and St. Paul.
Think about that. The Mississippi River is in Minnesota.
That's where it starts.
No, that's where it ends. It depends on who you're talking to.
Last time I checked, the river flows south.
But it's called the Mississippi River
Right.
because it started.
That's probably where they found it first, I guess. I don't know. But
Oh my goodness.
and I always, driving over those bridges every day, I was always kind of like, how do these not fall? And then 35W fell. I was, I think, in elementary or middle school, and my cousin was on that bridge that day, like an hour or two before it fell. Like, a lot of people have similar stories like that. My dad used to actually he used to work for a bridge building company, and he built a couple of bridges throughout the city. He used to tell me about his stories about how they build them and just hanging off of them as they're pouring concrete and stuff like that. One of my uncles still works for a bridge building company up there, but it was one of those, it was weird when it happened.
All of our infrastructure needs to be redone. if you're in Philadelphia or Chicago or New York, look at the bridges. Old, just dilapidated. You just wonder, can they hold up?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that's really sad what happened in Baltimore.
Some other current events that are going on. We talked about this a couple times. P. Diddy's officially been raided by the feds, and after that happened, he decided to hop on a plane and go to a island country. So,
and do what?
I don't know. I think he's trying to avoid extradition if they find something to be afoot.
Doesn't that just leave an implication?
Right.
It's just not good.
You don't run unless you did it. And he's got, sex trafficking charges, allegations, and people have so many speculations about what P. Diddy did or what he didn't do and what he was involved with. So
I don't know anything about P. Diddy. I really don't. Like, I have no idea the things. I mean, Cat Williams brought him up on on his podcast.
You want to give a quick synopsis of P. Diddy's life? How he was,
No.
He was very.
And with that, we'll never know. Okay.
Very prominent.
I mean, listen,
90s.
a guy that's been raided by the FBI,
right?
And he ran. Oh, I have no comment.
Okay, well, we're gonna move on.
I do think it's just interesting though, because I remember his office is on 55th Street in New York. I mean, he's been this mogul. He's been this music superstar.
He owned a record label, Sam.
Right.
Biggie and stuff like that.
But he came out of that era too of Tupac.
Mm-hmm. Tupac and Biggie. Biggie was on his label.
Biggie, Snoop. What's the boy that's in jail in California?
Suge. Yeah.
Suge, who was in Dallas a lot. I know a girl.
Uh-oh. That sentence never goes well.
Terrible way to start off.
I'm going to leave it at that because she probably don't want me to call her name. But that era of music was so violent. It was good, but it was so violent. And think about who came out of that. You see him now and you think about Ice Cube as this
actor and,
man, let me just tell you.
A little bit different back then.
NWA, heavy on the end.
Yeah.
And then you got Dr. Dre. And then our guy who was here.
DLC.
We've had the DLC
Curry
on this show. I mean, all of those guys were born out of that, and now they have children who have children.
Time flies.
And we're talking about P. Diddy getting rated at. So how old is somebody? How old is he?
He's in his. I think he's 50. I think he's like right around 50, either late 40s or early 50s.
There is a club.
54.
54. Whew. There is a club in Atlanta. No, a restaurant in Atlanta that was named for one of his. I don't think his sons. Maybe his oldest son. Because, he had a wife or a girl that died.
Yeah.
Something happened to her.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
there's a lot around him.
Yeah.
People speculate him for being a reason why Biggie is no longer with us. There's a lot of speculation around him.
And where's... okay, people going to get mad at me. No, I don't want to do it.
Well, speaking, I'm going to
let it alone.
This show business and
so that whole thought process right there.
Yeah, he thought about some stuff.
Yes,
in show business and just Hollywood. Hollywood as a whole is kind of looked at now. Maybe not like in the golden age of Hollywood, but now it's always kind of looked at as like, oh, you got to do something strange to make it in Hollywood, or you got to watch out for predators or this or that. People really associate that with a part of Hollywood now because of things like Diddy and things like that. But there is a recent documentary that came out called Quiet on the Set, which went and talked about the early days and I guess the past 20, 30 years of Nickelodeon and the child actors and the predators that were on set and some of the things that they went through and things like that. You guys...
I've always thought that about the child actors and actresses in the life that they really couldn't live.
Yeah.
Rita Moreno was on the set of West Side. in the 50s, and she was on 60 Minutes 2 or 3 years ago and talked about how she was raped daily by the producer of the show. She was like 16.
Yep.
She's probably 90 now. I don't know how old she is now. She's older. But she talked about what she had to go through. She had to feed her family. And this casting couch that has been going on, what's his name? Harvey Weinstein. Yeah, I mean, he's in prison now. Then this guy Epstein and this sex trafficking, which they're accusing Diddy
allegedly, big word.
I don't know. It's just
I saw an interview with Miley Cyrus. She got a hold of one of her agent's old schedules from when Miley was 12 years old. And she was running down her day, and it was like Willis's calendar. 7:30, breakfast. 7:45, meeting with marketing team. 8:30,
it's a
photos
full-time
with
job.
Disney. I mean, through the whole day, like 13-hour workday as a 12-year-old.
Or younger.
Crazy.
And that's why, like, Dylan and Cole Sprouse and Sweet Life of Zach and Cody, that's why Hollywood really liked twins, because there's certain work laws for minors, but when you have twins, they could shoot twice the content because they could swap them out. And that's why they like to shoot with them. And one of the guys who was Predators on the old Nickelodeon show, who actually got arrested in the early 2000s for what he did to some pretty famous actors on Nick, he only did 16 months in jail and got out and he worked on the Sweet Life of Zach and Cody. He worked on some of the other big shows afterward. He's still out now. And so that documentary was really big. Sam, did you ever model or act or something as a kid?
No.
Because
I absolutely no.
Whoa, I was
never.
trying to figure out where's that question.
I was very confused on where that was
because
going to.
I went to
No.
I
Never
did some
any of that.
casting shoots, and one of them was for Nickelodeon when I was really young, and they were casting for some of the shows that
Did
they were
something
talking
happen to
about.
you that you
No.
want to talk about?
Clearly, I'm here. I never became an actor, so I know, like, some as kids, some of our parents, they put us into like model or something like that, and I never really did anything.
I just think
that.
when you see those stories of, especially back in the day, of the kids who went through Hollywood and what they had to go through and the workload that they carried and the predators that were around them. And, that's one of the things that people say was what was wrong with Michael Jackson.
Yeah, he never had a childhood.
Never had a chance. I mean, Michael was 9 with ABC 1, 2, 3. I mean, that whole thing. I mean, got to be there and all. I mean, he was 9 and a superstar.
And from there on up, he never got a chance to really. And a lot of Disney kids, like you were saying, a lot of kids go through that.
Yeah.
But there's another movie coming out now, Bad Boys 4. We're on number 4.
Who's in it?
It's the same cast.
It can't be
It's
the same two.
It's the same two. And that's the next question.
30 years.
Do you think they're too old to be doing these
Yes.
high action? Okay.
Yes.
But Tom Cruise is 60 doing it.
Listen, I said this about Denzel Washington, that Denzel is too old to be fighting.
Equalizer 3.
What's the
Movies are good,
Equalizer.
though. The Equalizer.
he can't do 4. Because I saw in 3, like 90 people were dead when the thing opened up. They never showed him fighting. They were already But no, what's the other guy whose wife died in the ski slopes? He fights all the time. Every time he's mad.
Bruce Willis?
No, Bruce Willis got other issues.
Oh, yes. So isn't it the wife from The Parent Trap? Yes.
Yeah. I mean, this is like charade.
Yes,
Yeah,
Liam Neeson.
Neeson.
I was like,
No, Liam Neeson makes the same movie every 5 years.
Taken.
Taken. Taken.
Natasha
Right.
But not even, they don't even
Richardson,
call him Taken anymore, but it's the same plot in every movie he's in.
I mean, he fights. He's too old to keep fighting.
Look too old.
But he fights in all of his movies. Just like Jason
Bourne? Or what's his name?
No, from
Statham?
England.
Jason
Yeah.
Statham?
Right.
Yeah.
They all fight at some point. Just like Rocky. You got to let it go.
Sylvester Stallone.
I mean, how many Rockies were there? 12? I mean, maybe 5 or 6, but
I'm not even going to say it.
you can't keep. Anyway, that's typecast, so sorry. Let me let it go.
Hey, Sam, what is the perfect temperature for a steak?
Medium rare. Rare, depending on the place. Certain places can get rare, and I've gotten a rare steak, and they're to die for. But medium rare.
I don't trust you.
I don't.
If it's not bleeding, I don't want it.
Oh. I'll never do rare.
Boss, I know you ain't doing well done.
You told me a steak place, and I went there. It was terrible. I'm not gonna call the name of the place. It was terrible.
I thought, okay, how do
It's
you order
terrible.
your steaks?
It'll be terrible if you ordering a well done steak.
Yeah,
No,
agreed.
well done.
Okay, I was about to
Medium?
say.
Medium's my go-to.
Medium is subjective. It depends on who's cooking.
True.
Follow-up question. Will you send it back?
No.
I don't send anything back. I
Really?
just let it.
Don't.
No. I saw something happen at a very popular restaurant years ago. They kept sending it back, and then it came back and it smelled funny. So no, I don't send it back.
I never understood people being rude to the people that make your food. I
I
never
don't-
got that.
I don't
I'm
think
not
it's-
saying being rude, but
I don't think
just
it's being rude. I think if you say it nicely, which I would ask y'all the same question, do y'all send it back? Because for me, it's if it comes out and it's medium, it's clearly medium. There's like no pink in it whatsoever. I'm like, okay, in the nicest way possible.
Right.
And especially when it's a steak because it's so expensive.
Right.
I'm like, I did ask for medium rare. I'm
So
in
it's
the
a
nicest
little
way
off.
possible.
I'll take it.
And I'll have them look at it too, and I'll say, "Is this how you prepare your medium rare steaks?" Like you tell me, but I'm letting you know this is not what I'm used to, and kind of feeling it out that way.
Well, what makes a steak expensive when you say that? Because there's a
cut.
Roadhouse
well,
ain't expensive.
that's
Right.
my answer to the
Yes.
question. It's because I will
Right.
do it. I order my steak depending on where I am. If I'm at a nice if I'm at a nice steakhouse, I'll order it medium rare. But if I'm at Outback or something, which I've never even been to Outback, but if I'm at somewhere that's maybe less quality, I'll probably order it medium, just because I don't want it too rare. But
Well, I was having a business luncheon one time at a very popular restaurant in Dallas with a government agency, and the guys that I was having steak with, it was so rare
it was
that
moving at you.
as this one guy was eating it, I mean, blood was dripping from his. I mean, he looked like he had been in the jungle.
Tarzan.
And he had attacked this animal.
I mean, one of my favorites is prime rib, and prime rib is like that. If you get prime rib medium rare, it is
Well, wipe your mouth.
yes.
It's called blue. I used to work at a steakhouse. We had a couple that came in and they both ordered their steaks blue. That's what they call it, blue. The chef will put it on the grill for like 15 seconds
Flip
on each
it over.
side. Flip it over, take it off.
I don't want that.
I need a little bit longer than that. Need a little bit longer than that.
Yeah, I'll pass on that.
That's disgusting.
Comment from Cam.
All right, boss. Does the right turn on red apply to left turns on one ways?
It depends on who you are. I see people do it.
Some
I see
people don't.
do it.
Some people don't know that if you are on a one way, turning on a one way, you can turn left on red.
Yes.
Is that the state law? I see people do it,
Yeah, you can do it.
but I know the law is that. And by the way, you just can't come and turn. You're supposed to stop.
Supposed to.
I'm glad they outlawed red light cameras in Texas.
Not me. We had a contract with that, so
I guess you're right.
I missed out on
Sorry.
that.
Do you think grocery shopping is just as expensive as eating out nowadays?
Psychological.
Elaborate.
I think if you go to the store to get what you want to have for dinner and
Right.
that's it, and come home, it could be an economical situation. But if you go to the store and go to the store hungry,
Don't ever go to the store hungry. I was in there with my mom
and get
yesterday.
stuck. I need to, and it's $400 later.
Right.
I'm a big fan of online grocery shopping. Now, Now, I love going to the grocery store. That's
I
like one of
hate
my
it.
favorite things to do. So that is where it is hard because I do prefer to go in and do it. But I like online shopping because I can pick what I want, I can see the different prices, and that's all I'm getting. And half the time, I don't even have to go into the store. It's just curbside pickup, and they just bring it out. And I'm like, oh,
You
okay.
trust them
I do, yeah. I've used
for
some
fruit?
of them.
Well,
Central Market. Okay,
my
I'm weird
fruit.
about Central Market for sure. I would prefer to get it from them.
I want
because
my
feel like
own. I
theirs
want
is
to touch
good.
my own banana. I want.
Every morning.
I'm just saying.
John.
See, that's where.
Speaking of
John.
food, are there any foods that you guys immediately say no to? Any foods you just won't eat? For me, I don't like eggs.
At all?
No.
I didn't know.
I'll eat them. I mean, like scrambled, but I like a boiled egg. Nah, you're not gonna catch me just asking for eggs.
Well, what are you gonna do for Easter? It's a shame they don't do Easter eggs anymore, but that used to be a big deal. Easter egg hunt.
Like Easter egg hunting? Like you mean like
Easter egg hunt used to be.
Yeah, that don't mean I'm eating them.
Actually, eggs. Well, no, I mean I wanted to
Then
eat
they
them
would
as a
rot
kid.
if you
You'd
don't
get
find them.
I'm good on that.
20 eggs, and I'd eat them all.
Oh,
That is some country bumpkin.
Exactly.
Glade
No,
water,
No kid
Texas.
has ever done that past the 80s. Like, what are we talking about? You used to egg hunt with real eggs,
What?
laying them in the grass, and you would peel them and eat them when you found them.
Absolutely. Well,
Are they
There
hard
is no
boiled?
kids
So they're
doing
hard
that.
boiled eggs?
yeah. They used to boil them. I remember like
There
my
is
family
no
would do that,
kids
but
doing
I would
that.
never eat them.
Oh, wow.
I used to
we
dye
plastic
them.
eggs.
we
It's
dye them.
plastic
Yeah, we
eggs
take
with
the
candies in
hard
them.
boiled and we dye them, but that's about the extent.
We
of it. I
always
mean, if
did
you don't
plastic
find
eggs.
them, it starts to rot
It
and
has
stink.
candy, right? I
so-
thought that was the normal
When
thing.
you grow up in Glade water, you
Glade Water, Texas, they do hard-boiled painted eggs, and then they eat them when they find
I
them.
promise you, I'm not alone in this. Yeah, right. Comment. That's exactly right. I know I'm not alone in this. It was so common to go Easter egg hunting. Real eggs.
But what if you don't find them? They
That-
just rot.
Rotten, stinky eggs.
Oh no, they found them. No, they found them.
Just hope like an animal comes in. We're in the country,
And the
right? Like a
problem
fox
was-
or a coyote.
We did it between Sunday school and regular church. And so
Oh.
They don't know about that either because now it's just one service. We used to go show up 2 hours early, go
That's
to Sunday
right,
school,
right.
and then go to service, and then go to
Long
another, something
Sunday.
else after that.
And then
Sunday was a whole
don't-
deal.
Don't
The
get me
family
on
function.
that. I was a preacher
Yo was at
kid.
church on Good Friday too.
It's just I just know that, after you had about 5, 10, 12 eggs.
The line for the bathroom is insane. Sam, this is a question for you, younger generation.
By the way, anybody have you ever eaten raw eggs?
Never.
I have once.
No, just a raw.
My friend used
Crack
to.
it, slurp it down.
My friend
Hangover?
was really.
Hangover cure.
He was really big into his fitness and eating your eggs in the morning and everything. He would drink 6 eggs in the morning with his milk. I was like, dude, something is wrong with you. Don't do it no more. He's like, I can only do it like a couple times, and if I think about it while I'm doing it, it's bad. But if I just get it done,
Yeah, you just have to do it.
you just got to do it.
What's the benefit?
Yeah, exactly.
A lot of protein,
What-
real quick.
But you could just.
There's powder, like
I don't
protein
know if
powder.
I can really
like-
talk about it.
Oh, boss is.
Someone's got a lot of stuff he can't talk about.
All right,
I don't know if I
we're
can
on to the
really
next.
talk about it.
All
But
right.
they
It's a
fellas,
redacted podcast.
They know
You gonna
why.
have a good night.
They know why.
Your wife
you
will
would
love
eat
you.
raw eggs.
Okay.
Call it relationship insurance.
Next one.
Sam,
This food is
do you feel like
is not it.
do you feel like your individual vote matters?
Ooh,
Mm.
that's hard
Mm.
because of like what I went to school for. Yes.
In reality,
In reality, when I see it, I question it.
no, I don't feel it does.
That's the hard part. I mean, I know it does, and I know the benefit of voting and why you should, but then the outcome, it's kind of sometimes you're just
Discouraging.
like, well, especially turnout rates, like it.
Yeah.
Which turnout rates is why you should do it, but I don't know. It's hard. I see it both ways for sure.
And you don't see any value in it.
I see value in it, but
But-
like she said, it takes numbers. It's their strength in numbers. When there are no numbers, I don't
But
think
you have to lead by example.
but
I
you
also
d-
feel
you-
that,
you do.
and so
I think that's under the pretense. There are some people that assume that the numbers are fake, fabricated. So you're coming under the assumption that everything's on the up and up. Some people don't even trust the people counting the votes.
Knowing what my grandmother and aunts and uncles went through to get the chance to even vote is what would motivate me to want to vote. But a lot of times I don't feel like that one vote actually makes a difference.
I mean, y'all already know. So
I would just say I hope everyone votes. Go out and vote. Get those numbers up.
It is so crucial to vote. And for people who are financially deprived or ethnically in a certain area, it's your only voice. It's the only way. There are some people who are in office in Texas right now. Oh my God. There's no way women should allow the power structure in Texas to exist, because you have this group of men telling you what you can do with your bodies and what you can't do. If you don't agree with anything else, just the fact that they're telling you what you can do with your body, I got a problem with that.
And they, preach freedom. This is the freest place in the nation, but can't do what you want to do with yourself.
But to your point, because I saw what happened. This is not in the history book. I saw it.
Right.
I saw what happened.
And people forget how recent that is.
It's fresh in my mind. I have no choice but to vote. And you can check my record. By the way, I can check your record too. I can check everybody's record. It's public record of whether you voted or not. So, and it's not that hard to find.
And who you voted for, or just
No. It didn't tell you who you voted. It's
Voter turnout.
did you vote? And it just, when you think about what's happening in Mexico or in Russia or in China, where if you think your vote doesn't count here, it doesn't count in Russia. You got to vote, man. I'm not going to beat that dead horse, but vote.
My generation. Go ahead.
I was changing subjects. Sorry.
Change it. I was changing subjects too.
Dying to hear about this.
Go ahead, Sam. Take it away.
It's do you care if your partner has or gets body altering surgery?
We're on the same page with that. I'm glad you asked that question.
Because I want to hear y'all's opinion.
Straight up, no.
You
yes.
don't care or you do care?
I do care. I do not. Well, hold on before you. There's circumstances. Me, I prefer a natural woman through and through. If I meet someone, you could be attractive and you tell me you got surgery, cosmetic surgery, just because, it'll immediately turn me off of you. Like I do not find it. I find you attractive for who you are and your uniqueness. Now, there's something to be said. In some cases, there has been, you get into a car accident, you break your nose, and I got a nose job because I was whatever, or I needed surgery for this, or surgery for that, and I had reconstructive surgery because I got hit in the face with a lead pipe. I don't know, and my jaw was broken. I don't know, but there are certain circumstances where I feel it makes sense. But going to get a BBL just because you wish your butt was bigger, and you're gonna almost risk dying to take the fat out of your stomach and put it in your butt. Like that is, you don't even love yourself. Why should I? But that's how I feel
the
about
other
it.
side of that is also like Botox. How do you feel about Botox?
I don't.
That's not like, it's not a surgery. It's just.
I just think it's modifying yourself.
It depends on how much you take, though, doesn't it? In terms of it'll freeze. Sometimes your face won't move.
Yeah, I've seen some.
True.
I still feel, do what you want with your body, but I would prefer if you just left it alone.
Well, the whole thing about, there's two words that you should just consider when it comes to cosmetics and all of that. Those two words are make up. Think about that. That means it's not real. As I look,
Birthday makeup. No, I'm just kidding.
well, I'm just saying.
Yeah, I don't know.
You can put on so much makeup that when he actually gets to you,
it's a shock.
he says,
"Who is that?"
You don't look like that. No, yeah.
I mean, so there's sometimes it's just too much. And then when you start adding stuff,
fake lips, fake parts here, fake. That also applies, Sam. I want to ask you the same question back. If your man came to you and was like, "Oh, I want to get a penis enlargement surgery because I don't like it," or "I want to get,"
I'm pretty sure the example on here is a height extension.
Oh, he told me that
I'm pretty sure
earlier.
this is height extension is what we were talking about.
John put that on there earlier. No, John put that on there earlier. I promise you. I didn't pull it out of the blue.
That's the man.
We were talking about height extension.
No, because we were talking about this before we started recording, and he was like, penis enlargement or height extensions. And I was like, I'll say it on a podcast. But
That's the man's version of a BBL.
I'm going to stick with the height extension one.
Why not?
That's
Say, I mean, you're a resident
listed on
woman.
this. That's listed on this.
So if you met a man who was 6'3", but he told you 2 years ago he was 5'10",
is that even possible?
Would you think about him differently?
That would be my first question. Is that even possible?
Yes,
yes,
it is.
it's happened.
And
It is.
what is the scar? Like, what is it?
You can't
like a
tell.
foot?
Clearly, you didn't
Like,
know.
Is it like added into your knees or like?
It's like the femur.
They like lengthen your femur.
And I would say, what are the lasting like implications of that? Like, what's going to happen to you in the next 30 years?
The question was, would you look at him differently?
I mean, if he looks different, sure. But if he doesn't, then no. If I didn't know,
Or what
if
if
I
it's
didn't know, then I probably would just.
if it's your person and he's talking to you, he's like, my whole life I've been teased for being short, and I think I'm gonna go get this surgery. We got enough money
I'm a
now.
really bad person to ask because I accept so much about people. Like I don't really care if you decided that's what you wanted, and okay, you did it. That was your choice. And I mean, have I ever heard of that? Is a little odd, yes, but at the same time, if that's what makes you happy, who am I to argue with that?
How about you, boss?
Interesting. Sounds like he's
If
getting
I didn't make the
dumped.
decision, I can't really.
It sounds like he's getting dumped.
I don't want your short babies.
Right.
Oh, that's genetics. Oh, I didn't think about that.
He's still gonna have
I
short
didn't
children.
think about the genetics of
No
that.
D1 babies for you.
I'm like 5'9", 5'10". I'll be all right. I'll carry the team on this one.
Carry the team.
Interesting.
I don't know.
So does that mean you want to date a short man?
Oh, she already said that.
Okay.
I don't
What
remember.
is short? What is short? I
Me.
prefer that
5'8".
if they're that's I like.
Sam says, if I can wear heels and be taller than you, we can't be together.
What's really funny is all my friends laugh at me because every time we go somewhere, I always am in heels because I'm just like, all right, I want to wear heels wherever I go. And so if I meet someone that's shorter than me in heels, I'm kind of like, you're so nice.
Sam's 6'1" in heels, guys. By the way,
I can't do it.
So he has to be
6'3" plus.
6 foot. I'm good at 6 foot. Like I can wear shorter heels at that point.
But you
No,
know that
I'm
the
all right, I'm all right.
average man is 5'9", 5'10".
Well aware. Well aware. And we wonder why I'm still single. And that's why.
Okay.
I just
And you got to be 6 feet
taller.
without the body extension surgery.
if you really had body extension and I didn't know and it took you a while to like tell me and I figured it out. I mean I kind of just
I already
kinda,
like you.
I gotta let that one go. I feel like I don't know.
Well, on that note, our interview today is with the former police chief of Dallas and the former police chief of Chicago, who now is in the private business, David Brown.
Oh man.
All right, everybody, here we are again. I think I said BBO 3 times already, but we're here with Chief Brown. If you guys don't know, this is Dallas legend right here. How you feeling today, Chief Brown? Tell everybody a little bit about yourself and who you are.
So yes, I'm former Dallas Police Chief David Brown. Also served as police chief in Chicago for the past 3 years in 2020 to 2023. But now I'm Chief Operating Officer at Long Carline Jenkins and looking forward to networking here at the BBO with JBJ and others.
All right, appreciate you, Chief. Can you tell us a little bit about your experience when you know, being the chief of police in 2 major cities in America and a black chief of police at that? Some things you faced, some opportunities, some weaknesses, just your overall experience.
One of the things that I've always tried to do is break down barriers where people may not believe African Americans do a job. I try to do that job exceptionally well. So it was really a challenge for me being a police chief in 2 large cities, which only one other African American has ever done that, where the population is more than 1 million people. So 3 million people in Chicago, 1.5 million in Dallas. So obviously all the same challenges, but kind of larger than life in some cities like Chicago, but really the same challenges. It's really a people business, how you treat people, how you show your authenticity, those kind of things. They travel well.
And I can tell you've done an amazing job. I'm a Dallas transplant myself, but I see how the people all embrace you whenever I'm in the same room with you. So I know you have a lasting impact. What are some things you feel from your experience that you're excited about for the future of Dallas and other major cities?
What I really like about Dallas and other major cities is that they're starting to embrace diversity, equity, and inclusion. Even though there's some other areas of politics that's pushing back from that, I think we see here at the BBO how it can flourish and really grow your city in the right ways, including all communities. And so I'm really excited about Dallas's diversity, equity, and inclusion.
As a former chief, I know I said it a few times, but as a former chief of Dallas, if you had one wish, one dream for the city of Dallas, what would it be?
I really like the thought of Dallas becoming more of a connected region where we see our northern suburbs grow at a faster pace than what the core of Dallas is growing. I'd love to see that network connection where it grows together rather than how it's going now, kind of a little separately. What's happening in Frisco and other areas seems to be outpacing, and it should be connected. And so I'm, a homeboy. I'm Dallas, true and blue, but I love to see the network and connections to our northern suburbs.
Well, Chief Brown, I really appreciate you taking the time out. I hope you enjoy the rest of your time here today, and
I will.
I'll catch you later.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Take care.